I don't know if you can remember, of course you do, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds. One of the great scenes in the movie was, and it starred Suzanne Plachette as a teacher at a school, and all of a sudden the birds started landing on the school and started pecking on the windows, and before you know it, they were chasing the kids out of the school. And well, this is the schoolhouse. This is the schoolhouse where it actually took place, one of the famous scenes in The Birds. And you can see it looks like it's got 1880s construction, very well built. It's been a private residence, I believe it is now, but it was a bed and breakfast for a while, and it's always a big tourist attraction. You can always see people coming up like now, visiting and coming up the street. So I guess we drive the neighbors crazy, but they're used to it. So. And you can also see the church in the background that you could see in the movie too. The birds came inside of the schoolhouse and chased all the kids running down the... Well, we're now in the town of Bodega Bay, riding around, and you can probably see off to my left a little bit. You can certainly see the bay. Over there we're riding around now. Bobby suggests that we start our outing in Bodega Bay up on the highlands, which overlook the area a little bit. Is the high points here. You can see gas isn't cheap here at $4.15 a gallon, right? So. Don't want to waste gasoline down here, but this is a fun way to spend a Sunday and afternoon, and we'll have a lot of good stuff to see here. But it's a good way to start the trip, to just get the view of kind of scrubby terrain. It's a little bit up and down and hilly, but it's definitely area with a lot of wild beauty to it. And the California Coastal Commission, which governs a lot of development on the California coast, strictly restricts what can and can't be done out here. So it's not like a lot of building can take place out here. It's virtually impossible to get a building permit to put up any kind of new structure out here. So stuff that was grandfathered in was lucky to be here. And stuff's very expensive out here. Bodega Bay. But this is where our local crab fishing fleet comes out of too, for crabbing and the very tasty Dungeness crabs that we enjoy. So we're twisting around here on the roads, hugging the hills. We make our way around to the highlands, so we will see you when we get there. Well, believe it or not, we're all of about 20 miles due west of Santa Rosa, and you can see how wild and woolly the ocean here is in Northern California. If your perception of the beaches is what you see on TV with some of the various lifeguard shows and all that, you're not going to see David Hasselhoff running along here in a lifeguard uniform. I can guarantee you that, because you can tell by that water out there. Number one, there's a lot of rocks in the water. But number two, what you can't tell is that water is about 50 degrees out there. And if you get caught out there, you will die probably within a half hour to an hour of hypothermia. So beaches here in Sonoma County, although they're very beautiful, they're really rather useless to us as residents, because we really can't enjoy them except to sit on the sand on a day when it may not be so cold and windy, and enjoy the view, because unless you have a wetsuit, and a lot of people do surf out here, it's not the kind of water that you can go into for more than a minute or two on basically a polar bear swim. But I would think you would agree, for raw beauty, California was very wise to protect its beaches against development, so that everybody could always enjoy this beauty, and you could just smell the salt in the air, and it really is a sight to behold. One of the interesting things that people do here, and they care a lot about, is whales and whale watching. And this is a point up here where we'll walk up to where people can see whales, and they have the Whale Commission and other things that you can sign up and learn about.
It swims by filtering tiny creatures out of the water and from the bottom of the ocean. Gray whales are unusual in that they feed primarily by swimming down to the bottom of the ocean, turning usually on their right side and taking a big gulp of mud in the water. Whoever had the bad luck to be living at that address. Okay. And then with their tongues, they push the mud in the water out through the baleen. Okay, and the food is trapped, just like Nemo's father. Okay, and then they lick it off and swallow it. And even though what they eat, which is called krill, are very, very tiny, they eat a ton of this every day.
I learned a little about whales. Some of the official whale watchers here, so we have a lot of people up here today. Have you seen any whales today?
Oh, we wish.
Oh, okay.
It's harbor seals, though.
It's a beautiful place to be watching, though, I'll tell you that. So,
We got some harbor seals down off of the edge.
it says we have some harbor seals down here on the rocks, and you can see how tough and scrubby that is. We have a lot of people up here today. Yeah, it's just,
This is surprising.
it's a thing of just raw power and beauty. As we're making our way to lunch, I decided to just stop a second. We're on the west side of Bodega Bay here, and I thought I just might pan around. You can see it's super low tide here. It's a good thing that the channel, you can probably see the channel markers out there. And it's a good thing they're dredged there, because there's absolutely mean low water here at low tide. And I guess maybe we might be at a full moon.
That could be.
Yeah, it could be. So we're super low tide, and if you had a sailboat, it would definitely be over on its side, and you'd be sitting there waiting for the next tide change to get off. But that's a beautiful sight of the town of Bodega Bay, as opposed to the town of Bodega where the schoolhouse was, which is about 5 miles east of here. But this is Bodega Bay proper, the town of Bodega Bay. So it's one of the pretty little harbors on the Pacific Ocean. It's so nice up here in Northern California. Otherwise, you saw how wild the coast was. There's just no way that you could ever land a boat on anything even remotely associated with that beach that you saw. So, okay, let's get her on to lunch. Little change of plan. We're over at Lucas Wharf restaurant here over on the east side of Bodega Bay. It was a little too cold over at Spud Point Marina. It didn't look like there was any inside seating, and everybody looked like they're bundled up for a snowstorm coming, sitting outside eating. So we decided to make our way over here. So Bob, let's go in and let's get her, babe. Let's get some lunch. I'm kind of hungry. I could eat something, so we'll make our way inside here. And definitely in the mood for some seafood when you get out here. Although I'm sure they probably serve a good steak too. Cute little Charlie Brown in his scuba outfit. Thank you, sir. The two of us?
A lot of tables just cleared out, so I'll go have that set, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Oops, sorry.
I forgot it's St. Patrick's Day and I got all this green.
Yeah, I got the green today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Kind of a cool place, and they have a Beautiful view out the window and out the deck here. Hi, good. How are you?
I might get the giant bowl of clams.
Yeah, me too. I think I'll get that too, yeah. Try that, but certainly gave us nice seating at the restaurant here, looking out right over the bay. Beautiful day. Huh? Just water for me is fine, so today. I think I'm going to have shrimp fritters with a Creole dipping sauce for a little bit of an appetizer. Okay, we can enjoy that. Well, as usual, I long finished my clam chowder, and Bobby's still gone to town over here on his. He always says he likes a chick that has a good appetite. So. One of the cool things about Bodega Bay is it's also where the crab, the Dungeness crab, and the salmon fleet is situated, and you can see a lot of the crab boats here, and they're also fitted up for trawling for shrimp and other things, but they'll go out and they'll set a lot of these big crab pots in the water and then come back hours later or sometimes overnight and pick them up and empty them, and they bring them in here to be processed. One of the places is Lucas Wharf, where we had lunch today. So it's quite a large fleet, as you can see here, and times can be good, times can be bad. You never know what kind of season it's going to be when you head out, especially crabbing can really be up and down, and the state and the federal government really restrict a lot of the salmon fishing too, what you can do and your take and all that. So these guys sort of feel like they're always under fire here. These are some of the crab pots that they put down at the bottom of the bay and the bottom of the ocean, and they probably weigh a good 100 pounds each, and I think they cost about $200 a piece. There's a lot of gear, and you have to have a lot of line on these, because depending where you put your pots out, it's a long way down to the bottom of the ocean there. But you can see this bloke over here is coiling up line, probably getting these pots all neatened up and checked out and repaired and ready to go out again, because I think our commercial crabbing season lasts about another month or so, and then they'll wrap it up and get on to other commercial fishing. So just thought you'd like to take a look at that. Well, we're starting to lose our light a little bit, or starting to cloud over a little bit, and we are due for a weather change coming up here in the next couple days. But this is one of the colorful shops that makes it real cool to come out to Bodega, the kite shop, and they just have every kind of kite, candy, saltwater taffy, and all that. Very colorful, so I can't resist the chance to pop in and check her out a little bit, and maybe pick up something cool for the yard.
Alright, now here we go.
I hope you enjoyed our trip out to Bodega and Bodega Bay today. It's always a very colorful place to visit. You get very fresh air, you get great food, you get to see some of the best scenery the United States has to offer. Plus you get cool and colorful shops out here to boot. Best of all, you get to spend a day with somebody you really dig in life and enjoy spending time with, and never get enough time to spend with. So, Bobby, you're the greatest. I always say that.
Stand next to the fisherman.
Thanks for being with us today, okay? And we'll see you on our next day tripping. You never know where that might be, okay? Thank you.